What's up guys, welcome to my video. So today we're talking all about gearing up your characters fast in patch 7.3.5, and this expansion I've leveled up 5 characters to level 110 and geared them all out. Pretty much every time I've done it, it gets easier and easier, mostly because of the catch-up system that's in place now, so it's actually not that bad. And today I'm going to be sharing with you everything I know on how to gear up your characters quickly in the current patch, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so the first way to get geared out is by using unsullied tokens, and if you already have a level 110 main and you've been questing on Argus, there's a really good chance that you have a lot of these unsullied tokens in your bags or maybe in your bank that you've forgotten about. And these tokens are really useful guys. They could save you a lot of gold as well, because when you right click them they give you an 850 piece of gear that you can use for the character that you're trying to gear out. So make sure that if you've been questing on Argus to check your bags, check your bank for these unsullied tokens, because like I said, it's a free piece of loot and it can help you a lot in gearing up your character. Alright guys, coming number 2 is the auction house, and this is by far my favorite way of gearing up my characters. One, because it saves me so much time, and two, because I basically get to select the gear and the stats that I want to buy for my character. And as you can see here, you can buy anywhere between 825 item level to 850 item level crafted blue gear, which is pretty cheap right now. It can run you anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 gold, which I think it's completely worth it. It's, like I said, a time saver. So number 2, if you want to gear up your characters quickly, I definitely recommend checking out the auction house, checking out the gear that's for sale there, because you might get some really awesome deals, and of course you can actually gear up your character pretty quickly. Alright guys, coming number 3 is doing the world bosses, and right now in Legion these world bosses are pretty easy to complete, and getting in groups is really easy. It's just a matter of using the group finder, and most of these groups don't even check for your item level, so you can actually just be a fresh 110, apply for a group and you'll automatically get accepted. And I really like doing world bosses on my fresh 110s, because one, they have a chance to obviously drop a really nice piece of loot. Two, you can also get a legendary. 3, you get some gold and also artifact power that you can use for your weapon. So number 3 is, as soon as you hit 110, go to Dalaran guys, pick up your tokens, and then fly out and do the world bosses, whether it's on Argus or whether it's on the Broken Isles, because like I said, there's always a chance you're gonna get some awesome piece of loot, artifact power, gold, and maybe a chance at a legendary. Alright guys, coming number 4 is doing heroic dungeons, and this is another way of gearing up your characters pretty quickly. And the gear that you get from heroic dungeons is 865 item level, which is actually not too bad. It's actually pretty decent and will help you move on to better things like doing mythic dungeons and whatnot. And what I like about doing heroic dungeons is that the first one that you complete gives you a nice amount of artifact power. It gives you awakening essences, which you can use to buy a legendary item later on, and also it gives you a little bit of gold as well. And the other thing I like about doing this method is that you can basically queue up for as many heroic dungeons as you want, guys. You can just spam heroic dungeons all day and get decked out pretty quickly. So number 4 is make sure you are always queuing up for heroic dungeons, because it's really easy loot and it's really easy gold as well as artifact power. Alright, moving on to number 5 is doing mythic dungeons. And once your character has a decent item level, maybe like 865, you can actually move up to completing mythic dungeons, which drops 885 item level gear. This is another way that I use to gear up my characters quickly. And in mythic dungeons though, you can't queue up for it, you actually have to form your own group. However, you actually can pick the people that you want to invite to your group, and I found that mythic dungeons right now, because players are so geared out now, that it takes anywhere between 10 to 12 minutes to complete. So number 5 is, once your character has a decent item level, maybe like 865, you can actually start doing mythic dungeons and get some better pieces of loot. Alright guys, coming number 6 is doing the new LFR called Antorus, the Burning Throne, and this raid drops 915 item level gear, and which is really awesome, especially for a fresh 110 character. And I highly recommend you guys go in there with maybe a couple of friends or some guildies that are the same class as you, because that way you can just share loot amongst each other. But for the most part guys, I found that players that are doing LFR right now are already decked out. They don't need the loot, and you know, if somebody gets a piece of loot that I need, you know, I always ask them, you know, if I can have it, and most of the time they actually say yes. Yeah, there are other times where, you know, people are kind of jerks and then you know, they just keep the loot for themselves. But you know, LFR is still a really good place to get geared out pretty quickly. Alright guys, well that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it informative, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, share. I definitely would appreciate it. Also, if you guys have any tips of your own on how to geared up quickly in patch 7.3.5, leave them in the comments below. I'm pretty sure, you know, everybody would appreciate it. But until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.